Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of I'm Feeling Super Fantastic Awesome. I have a very special guest today, Beatrice. Let me just start over. Naranjo, because I'm forgetting the R. All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of I'm Feeling Super Fantastic Awesome, a podcast about positivity, sales, and real estate. Three of my passions. I have a very special guest today, Beatrice Naranjo. She is a friend of mine for many, many years. And I just love her spirit. I love everything about her. Welcome, Beatrice.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
Oh my goodness, no, it's my pleasure. You have so many different things that you do, and every time I see you, I just feel the energy of you. What you bring, and how you share, your energy, your positivity with others. And I know some of the stories and the conversation we have is like we're not having the best of days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like that, right?
Yeah. So the things I want to kind of touch on are the things that help you, maintain that positive atmosphere, that positive energy. What gets you to that space. So I want to talk also a couple of other things. What are your passions? What are the things that are important to you? So let's start with just in general. What's your philosophy on staying positive? And what is it that you focus in on?
Okay, so we all have days that are good and days that are not so good. So first of all, I am always grateful for my blessings. I do my journal at the end of the day. I just write down something that's simple, right? Like someone opened the door for me, someone that told me, oh, how look my hair looks, or I try to also focus on all my blessings, right? Like we are not conscious of how blessed we are. We are just simple things like turning on that switch and you have light. Something like just you have a shower, you have water, you have shoes to wear. Things that we take for granted, and that we are just we think that we deserve that.
Right.
Yes, we deserve that. Everybody deserves that, but we have to really focus on
But not
what
everybody
we have.
gets it. Right?
Yeah.
Not everybody gets it.
Every blessing.
The way I describe it is paying attention to the details.
Correct.
Yeah. It was a conversation I had with my father the other day, and I told him this big story. It was a 5-day story. But at the end, at the beginning of the conversation, I said, I really focus on the little details, like catching 3 green lights in a row. It was just,
Yes, right. Or finding parking, right?
Finding parking in front. Yeah, I just had a conversation about
Yeah.
when you go to Publix, which is our shopping plaza down here in South Florida, and I would say 85% of the time the first parking spot's open for me, and everybody's like, "How does that happen?" I said, "I don't know, but I thank I thank God every time for
Something
those
like
things,
that.
little
Yeah.
simple things." So, but you brought up something that's really also very even deeper than that I've gone in the past, and I love the sharing about this because shoes on your feet. There's 7 billion people in the world. Not everybody has shoes on their feet. Not everybody has electricity. Not everybody's running water. These are very, very precious gifts.
Correct.
So you actually enlightened me to how much more lucky I am than I thought I was already. So that is a wonderful sentiment. I thank you for sharing that with me. I also want to talk about something that you're extremely passionate about, and something that I've been able to witness myself. You have a dance. You said it was
My tribe.
a
Yeah,
tribe.
that's my tribe. Yes.
You have like 3 different dance classes you do. You have a
Yes.
studio that you do it through. Tell me a little bit about how that started.
Okay, so belly dance started for me as a hobby, and then I started going into production of festivals and shows and blah blah blah. So when I moved here, I thought that dancing was, well, actually, it was my lifesaver because it connected me with people from all over the world that were based here in Miami, women of all backgrounds, nationalities. It was amazing. So I could say that dancing gave me my lifesaver, right?
Yeah.
That was my lifesaver. So I'm passionate about dancing, movement, energy. So I started teaching, and it was my hobby. It was little by little. So after COVID, I found that people wanted to connect again.
Yeah.
So my group's starting to grow, and like the girls, the ladies, they're all from all over. I have a very various age group, shapes and colors in my classes. So like I found a lot of gratification when you see that through the power of dance you get the best of everybody.
Yeah.
So like I started teaching more and more, and then all of a sudden I found myself creating a show for my students to showcase what they learned.
Right.
And then this show, it's called Goddesses Night, and it is a fundraiser event. We do this event every year. It's the motto of this show is women helping women, because through the power of dance we create a beautiful energy, and then we use the results and the profits from this show to help Agape Network in Miami that helps women in distress. So, well, this is long story short, but it's, I have three passions: my family, helping others, and my dance. So.
Well, I love that, because I think when you have a passion, that sharing it with others, actually, it's almost sometimes selfish. It's we reap the rewards of it.
Correct.
I know. So these are all topics that are right in line with things that are very, very important to me. And you do it in such a unique way. And I had the blessing of being able to witness these beautiful shows that you put together. One, most recently was in the it's called CB's Got Talent, but it's Coldwell Banker Has Talent. It's the Coldwell Banker agents that have a bunch of people within the Coldwell Banker family and community that put together. But you actually produced it. So you actually not only did your show, but you organized everything. You organized from all the people participating, what order they were in. You were working the stage when you're not preparing for it. I mean, it was amazing to watch you work. I was blessed enough to be a judge, and also, I got talked into being a talent as well. But each time I go there, it's so much fun. And this last one that you did with the colors and the
fans,
the ribbons, it was so beautiful. It was so gorgeous. It was well produced. It was well choreographed.
Thank you.
So if you get a chance to connect with Beatrice and her tribe on one of her annual events to help out women in distress, which is a very wonderful foundation, please, search her up. Is there a website to search?
Yeah, there is a website, my social media, but I'll put it in my social media. We already have a date. It's gonna be June 7th in the NSU campus in Davie and Don'tap Center. But I'll put it in my social media, and if you guys need, you can reach me to this phone number, and I'll be happy to give you more information about what we do and how we do it and when it is. So thank you.
We'll add it as we post this. We'll add some of these contacts, so we'll circle back on that. And make sure I get an invite too. So.
I will, definitely, of course.
The other thing that we discussed that was something that helps you in your maintaining your positivity or bringing you back to positivity is music.
Oh yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you utilize music to maintain that positivity, to either bring you out of what we call a funk, like a moment in time or a temporary situation where, you think things aren't going your way, but, you can refocus your energy in the right direction. So give me a little bit of background on that.
Okay, so like everybody, I also have days in which like, oh my God, after being rejected, two sides rejected me, things happen. Anyway, it's part of work, yeah? And, or something has happened with family or someone that is your loved one is not going through a good time. Well, there are things that we cannot control.
Mhm.
There are things that happen and we cannot control,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what we can control is how we feel about that and what plans do we have to make that change of perspective.
Yes.
Like sometimes we have to do a step back and see, okay, this has happened, what can I do?
Right.
Sometimes we don't even have the energy to do that.
That's true.
Because we're just simply human.
Yeah.
We're not machines. We're not perfect. We're not beings that are always in this high state of energy.
Right.
So, well, it's something that has been already scientifically proven. Is the effect that music have in our brains,
Yeah.
in our hormones, in our minds, in our bodies. So sometimes when I don't have that energy, I created a happy music playlist.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just created that music, that playlist, and like.
So when did you discover music was that for you?
I think it's forever.
When you were young.
When I was young, always music moved me.
Was it a family thing that did
I don't
music?
know. Like, I mean, well, in my culture, music is always there.
Yeah. And you're originally from?
I'm from Spain, from the
Spain.
south,
Yeah.
from Seville, where flamenco was born.
Yeah.
So music is always part of life's celebration.
Yeah.
A wedding, baptism, communion, like bar mitzvah, whatever. So we always get together in dance.
Yeah.
And listen to the music, and that sense of community, that sense of belonging and celebrating through the music has always been part of me.
Yeah.
So I think that music and dance have a lot of power. So definitely I go to my happy place when I listen to happy music and when I dance.
Yeah.
So that has helped me. Maybe for you it's just, I don't know, go to play pickleball or just to have a glass of wine with your friend. It's always good to communicate and also to go to your inside and be able to process what is happening to you and, take it, or I don't know, like go to pottery classes, things like make you happy.
Right. Whatever
That's
your
it.
passion is, find a way to weave that into your routines as much as possible.
Yeah.
You mentioned something, and it's funny. It's a phrase I say all the time. When you're talking about, the world has its own idea of what's going on, right? You can have bad news. You can have a bad day. You can have financial troubles. You can have family troubles. You can have a lot of different things that are having an influence on how you react. And the one thing that's a constant is the only thing that can make you, the only thing that really controls how you feel is up here. And I developed over the course of my life that ability to be aware of that. and you know, I get accolades all the time about being positive, you know, and I'm very blessed and I'm humbled by that. But in the reality of it is that that's the tone I set the first thing in the morning when I wake up. And that's the tone I set the last thing I do before I go to bed. Because I strongly feel, and throughout the day I do the same thing. That's the reason I answer everybody who asks me how I'm doing. I'm feeling super fantastic, awesome.
You're the best.
I may not have the best day health-wise. I might have the best day work-wise. I might not have that, but every time anybody asks me that question, in my mind it's a reset. And the reason for me it works is that usually the response that I get from people, it's like unexpected. I'm at the grocery counter and I'm checking out, and then, you know, I'm like, how are you doing today? Oh, great, how are you? And I said, I'm feeling super fantastic, awesome. And people who have their heads down and just focus on the work, and they smile.
Yeah.
And it gives me that energy. You know, it's like I could do it throughout the day. You know, so I don't have to wait for the next day for me. So, you know, in fact, you got one of the T-shirts that
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
So, and I'm coming out with a whole new line.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah, so my goal is this time around, I did it as a giveaway the first time for all my friends in my community. But this time around, I'm actually I'm gonna sell them because I want proceeds to go to fighting cancer. I know, so whether it's through St. Jude's or whether it's through breast cancer awareness, the cancer that's impacted my immediate friends and family, I want to use this energy and the things that we're doing to help others. And then speaking of helping others, I kind of want to go into that part of it because that's also a big passion of yours on how you maintain focus on positivity. So when you describe helping others, it blends into your family, but also blends into your work.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
So give me a little bit of insight on when you're talking about helping others, you know, how is that? Because when you're working from inside out, how does that generate that or maintain that positivity or make you get up every day, even though, like you said, in sales,
Yeah, we have a lot of rejections.
you get more
Yeah.
rejections than you get
Yeah.
results, right?
Yeah.
So it does take the right mindset to be successful in sales.
It takes, yeah. So I started in real estate a long time ago. I before did it for my personal investments, but when I came to United States, I thought, okay, how do I purchase my first house? And gosh, the system was so different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was like, okay, who's who in these things? Who is the notary? What's the role? Blah, 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 blah. What's inspection? Blah, blah, blah. So long story short, I found myself purchasing my own home with the excitement and also the worry, like, oh my God, if this goes wrong, what is going to happen with the money that I put as a down payment or blah, 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 blah. So, like I experienced that. And I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to take this experience that I had to help other people with the most important investment that they will do in their lifetime.
Yes.
And I don't take it lightly. I think it's so important for a family to get their place or to sell their place because, it's, as I said, it's not like selling shoes that you can return, or it's selling your most important investment. So you want to make sure that everything goes well.
Yeah.
So I found myself very useful throughout the process.
Right.
Since, like either selling, renting, buying, there is many pieces that goes into this puzzle of getting a house sold or purchased that you really have to take control and make sure that all the emotions that go through this process.
It's very emotional.
I know, that's why those emotions that go through this process are managed
Yeah.
in a very positive way,
Yeah.
in which all the parties have a win-win.
Yeah.
And like the satisfaction that I feel when I give the keys to first-time home buyers, for example, or when I get the keys from a seller that we're heading to our new adventure. So thank you. So I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
I feel a sense of course, the check helps. Yeah, don't.
Right.
But it's the reward of knowing that you have helped someone to change their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take a lot of impact in their lives, but I know that my little commitment or my little help them to be better.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. I just did a class, and I don't think you had a chance to attend. It was creating a vision board, and in the class, in one of my pages in my presentation, it talked about the reasons we do what we do, the reasons that you're in real estate, and an example, the reason I'm in mortgage. And at the list of all the 10 things that were up there, money was the last one.
correct.
Because if you're starting from a place of money, then it's about you. But if you're starting from a place of helping others put a roof over their head, build financial wealth, build generational wealth, having something that's tangible, like you said, emotional. A home is very, very emotional. I'm more pragmatic in my head, but when we recently sold our home, the emotional side of it was my wife. We were there for 23 years. I was more about aligning everything up. But when I do mortgages, for an example, and I express this all the time with you and your clients, and the clients that I work with, that even if I'm not the one who's doing the mortgage, the service is always there.
Yeah.
The why, what's beneficial to you, going over the budget, going over the situation. If something goes sideways and I say, I need an answer, Brian, it's happened with this other lender, but I don't know why, the ability to try and help others navigate through it, because it is a very complex system. As you mentioned, you came from another country.
Yeah.
And you had to learn it.
Yeah.
And then you ended up excelling at it. So, you've been, a great producer in our community for many, many, many years, and buying and selling real estate. So, anybody who's looking to buy and sell real estate, you couldn't get a better partner with this young lady right here. Because there's got to be a genuine nature behind why you do what you do.
It is.
Because other than that, one of the biggest complaints I get from realtors all the time that are not utilizing my services is, I'm working with this lender and they disappeared on me. Something might not be going right with the underwriting, something might not be going right with the appraiser or something like that, and they just disappeared because they're transactional. They're not relationship oriented. So when I'm working with clients, it's about the relationship with my business partners, which my real estate partners who gave me the opportunity and the blessings of working with their client, and it's about the client itself. Are they going to be in a good spot? Closing the transaction is great, but can you carry that forward for the next 10, 15 years, right?
And it's not only that, because when your client understands and feels that you're working for their best interest, not for your interest, you're going to have clients for life.
Yes.
You're going to build something that we call trust over the years.
Yeah.
And, when they see that you're genuine helping them, they're going to they're gonna refer to you to everybody because they really feel
Yeah.
that they are important to you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I want to sleep peacefully in my in my bed, thinking, okay, I know it wasn't the best for me, but I know and I'm happy that I did what it was the best for my client.
Yeah.
So
One of the, you probably feel the same way. One of the best compliments in our industry you can get is when a business partner or a client refers
yeah,
a friend or a family member,
yeah,
especially a family member, you know, a son, a daughter, a nephew, an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a father, a sibling, you know. I like really, you know, when I get those opportunities to help somebody and it's a personal relationship with, somebody I know and care about, I find that to be the best compliment in the world.
it is.
You know, that somebody trusts me with the well-being of those
Someone
important
very
people in their
close,
life. Yeah,
correct, yeah.
yeah. So, it's amazing. You know, the reason that one of the reasons I truly appreciate you is you share a lot of the same values that I share. Helping others, giving back to the community, counting your blessings. You know, these are all things that are so important to maintaining, you know, a healthy lifestyle. You know, you can be healthy. You know, you can be healthy, maybe not physically, but you can always be healthy mentally. And the things that we do on a daily basis, and the routines that we put in our lives, or the things that we know that lift us up, that we can carry forward and share with others, you know, it is the best blessing we can give. You know, and I really think that, you know, I'm grateful that you're part of my blessings.
Thank you, you too.
I want to recommend everybody to make sure that there's two things I really want everybody to do. Is I want to make sure that everybody has, you know, a goal every day to make somebody smile. That's important. Whether you use my phrase or not, find a way to make somebody smile. Number two, at the end of the day, you do it with your journal. But you know, I just recommend, even if you do it and you do it with your internal voice, and you do it through talking to God, or however you go about it, count your blessings. And look at the little details, right? Don't look at the big ones.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got a big paycheck today, but they come few and far between in real estate sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's the blessings are the little things. The little things.
The little things. Yeah.
You have dozens of little things that happen throughout the day, and if you could focus on those details and those little things and all of that stuff, you're going to realize you have a blessed day.
Something that I didn't mention,
Yeah.
it's love.
Yeah.
So we sometimes take love for granted, and we are loved.
Yeah.
Maybe not the way we want, but we are loved.
Yes.
And again, just thinking about the people you have around you who loves you.
Yeah.
We don't even, you know, like again, we think that this is how it should be.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is not.
Yeah.
But, you know, just think about your partner, your friend, your daughter, your son, your mom, a message saying, how are you today? Things like, oh, did you arrive home safely? Things like that.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, powerful.
One of the things over the course of the last couple of years is that I never used to express as much as I do now for the people that I put in my life is how much I love them. And you're right, that's right. Thank you for bringing that up. That is so valuable because you don't know the day that they're having, and you don't know if they're feeling loved at the moment. So the more you can express that and say, I'm thinking about you, and know I love you. You know, I used to be intimidated by saying that, You know, my wife, my son,
Yeah.
my family, but by and large to my friends, you know, sometimes when you're a guy, you're like,
I love you.
no, so I became a big hugger. You know, I was like,
I
I'm a
love
big, yeah, I was
hugs.
a big hugger.
Listen,
Yeah,
I have to tell you something.
yeah,
And I understand that coming from a different culture, it cannot always be appropriate
Yeah.
where you are. But I'm a big hugger.
yeah,
I love hugging people. I love the interchange of energy
yes,
that we receive when we are hugging someone that that we care for. And I'm telling you, it's one of the best medicines that you can experience. It's miracles.
yeah,
It's a miracle. So please be kind and hug everybody and kiss everybody. I know that we are kind of very conscious of germs and viruses and all
Yeah.
that, but please keep hugging people.
yeah, yeah. I have a quick funny story. You know, just on Monday, I was coming to the office, and I walked in the office and said, "I'm giving out hugs today." And I saw Jeanette in our office, and she lives north of us, so she doesn't visit her office very often. And she happened to be sitting in a spot, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Brian, I was on my way down here, and I was thinking, I was hoping I was going to see you today, and I was hoping to give you a hug." And I said, "Well, I'm giving them away for free." So it is a beautiful moment.
It is. It's
Yeah,
magical.
You know, I have some of my guy friends who are about ready to give me the shoulder hug, and I'm slapping them away now. I was like, "No, come in for the real stuff. Let's come in for the real stuff."
Yeah.
I get you.
Those hugs have to last 11 seconds.
There you go.
A minimum.
A minimum? Well, if they hear me start counting in their ear, they might think different. So just try to mentally count. Don't count out loud. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Every interaction with you was a blessing. Every opportunity I get to feel your energy is a blessing. Anything you ever need from me, you know I'm always there for you.
Thank you. I
And I
know.
know the same thing comes back
Yes,
to me.
of course. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Like, you know, the hat you gave me, I remember it was the
The cup from Barcelona.
Barcelona. It was
Yeah.
was it the Matador hat? No,
It was the soccer.
the soccer
yeah.
the soccer team. That was so wonderful, and forgive me for forgetting it because
You received too many hugs, guys.
I only started labeling them later on because it was an overwhelming
It
amount.
was good because you deserve it.
It was so unbelievable, that whole hat scenario when I first got diagnosed. That I started posting as like hat of the day. These are the hats that I went back in my
It
pictures.
was fun. It was
and
so fun.
Everybody started coming with hats from all over the world. And I'm like, oh, I was just in Spain, and I was like, I brought back what was the team? I got it in a box right now because I'm moving. But when I set up my studio for my podcast, all my hats are going to be displayed.
Oh
Oh
wow.
yeah.
Oh.
So I have a couple passions. I have my Eagles, who are, although this
Yes.
podcast will drop a little bit later, they're in the Super Bowl today. This is Super Bowl Sunday today. So the other one is Pez dispensers, and it's a funny story. I got a Secret Santa when I first got into mortgages, and the Secret Santa got me a 12-pack of Coors Light and a Santa Pez.
Okay.
And I got so excited about the Santa Pez, all the girls in the office started buying Pez every time they went to the store or something like that. So every day, kind of like the hat thing,
Oh.
they just started giving me Pez because I was very positive in the office going around. I do a lot of events, from taking people to the ballpark, taking them on hay rides, setting up happy hours. I was always, and you know me in happy hours, here.
The best.
So, it's been something that just unique to me, and until this day, I still get like Christmas and stuff like that. They give me stuff. So I'll have a display of that. I'll have my hats display. I'll have my Eagles display.
Looking forward to seeing it.
So it's going to be a cool little studio look. Can't wait, as we develop this whole channel. Thank you so much for joining me again. You can always reach out to Beatrice at 954-681-1881. You can also reach out to me if you have any questions and they're related to mortgage at 954-734-4501. Many blessings to all of you. Stay positive. And if you're in need of positivity, reach out to someone you love or reach out to us. And we'll be happy to share something with you to bring a smile to you today. God bless.
Blessings. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Feeling super fantastic, awesome.